I don't like losing, but I'm about to lose. These are the type of days where you hate trading. Boom. You just start gambling. Yeah, let me get out, bro. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. All right, so I gotta get a new mic stand or something, man. This is like hanging shit. My phone is just like hanging, it's like dangling. But we did lose, did blow these accounts on combines, and yeah, we did lose on the XFA too. Now we're down back to where we were, which is minus 1,500, and yeah, let's go for the first trade. First trade wasn't really that bad. First trade we took a long off of the 5-minute IFVG, and then eventually we got stopped out with this candle right here. So this was like the entry. We entered somewhere like around here, and then the market came and just stopped us out, which eventually led to me like, all right, I got, a little upset, distraught, and then after the longs didn't work out, I went for shorts, and I don't know if it's probably not gonna pull it up here. Not on this one, these right here. Then I went for short, and short was really off of this little 1 minute fair value gap. I mean, not the 1 minute IFVG right here with strong continuation, and then eventually I got stopped out in profit. Here I could have just aimed for this low and took my profit and walked away, but being greedy, I wanted to make 3%, which is the 1,500, and I was aiming for the 1,500. Being greedy, I could have been at a drawdown for today and just walking away at break even, which would have been better than nothing. But eventually after that happened, I saw this 1 minute IFVG form, and I eventually entered. I scaled in, which I had high hopes since we swept this sell side. We were displacing higher. I thought, this could be my break even point. I was like, all right, we're going to probably meet the break even point later on. And eventually we never did. And then eventually you can see we just came, boom, stopped me out. And now we have to face the consequences of this. And these are like my worst days whenever we're range bound, especially whenever I keep trading. After taking that first L, I should have just been able to walk away. But something in the back of my mind just was telling me no. To keep going. But yeah, now I'm going to have to just leave the combines alone for a little bit and then just trade on the express, which is probably going to be this one. And probably, most likely, probably going to blow it. Or we're going to save it in the next trade. I'm not too sure yet. I can't predict the future. But, these are one of the worst feelings whenever you lose and you're wrong on a day like this, But on a day like this, it's more difficult to read since we're more inside of a range, especially expanding up higher. I was bullish going into today since we had this 30-minute buy side imbalance holding with this candle, and then eventually on the 15-minute time frame, we had a 15-minute candle range low sweep. This is your third candle. You would want to see higher prices, but we also swept the highs, and we also have SMT at the highs with ES. So this does look a little bit more difficult because, again, ES is indicating bearish prices while MNQ is clearly showing higher prices. So not really higher prices, but it was showing more strength, and we formed that SMT there. These are one of the days where you're like, all right, you can see both sides, and I kind of did see both sides. That's kind of why I took shorts and longs. And whenever you have that scenario wherever you're like mixed bias, you should walk away. If your trade isn't 100% sure in a clear direction, don't take it, and that's something I'm really trying to learn and dwell and just being able to walk away too. I'm trying to learn how to be able to walk away whenever I take a loss, or just being able to walk away without taking a trade. That's one of my biggest difficulties I'm facing right now. Because again, we're not really moving here. You can see we're more range bound. Yeah, we're back and forth. We're going up, we're coming down, sweeping the lows, pushing up higher, unable to sweep the highs, forming SMT, and then eventually we're coming back down, sweeping these lows, and then we're probably gonna go back up higher. We're unable to displace in a clear direction, and these are more difficult days and again, we don't really have news. We only had 8:30 news, and that was really it. So, and then we have news next week, which again is very, very unfortunate because again, I just wasn't able to walk away first and foremost after taking my first L, and I did feel a little bit of FOMO whenever I was in that first trade because again, I just felt like I didn't have enough confluences, I didn't have enough confirmation taking that trade, and the market wasn't really giving me what I wanted to see in terms of like higher time frame. We weren't really tapping up into a higher time frame PDRA, and we didn't really have a higher time frame confluence, if I'm being truly honest. More so, we could have waited for this to be tapped up into, but we never really tapped up into it. Could have waited for the market to reach up into this 4-hour inversion for rally gap to then eventually look for higher prices on the 1 hour. Also, we formed the 1 hour bears CRT. So again, we had a mixed bias here with the 15-minute, and yeah, it just wasn't really the best trade, wasn't really the best scenario to be taking trades. Now we're moving lower. It really does hurt losing, I won't lie. A good thing the other ones are locked out. I would have probably been trading them right now, gambling. It's very unfortunate, really. Like I'm very stressed right now. I don't know. I'm doubting myself now, really. After blowing the combines, thinking, like, am I able to do this? Do I really have the skill? Am I able to be disciplined and consistent? And that's something that I really need to work upon right now, is just my consistency, being more disciplined, just really reviewing and reflecting upon my decisions here. Like it just wasn't me really, like gambling, I guess. Not really gambling, but just taking trades when I know I shouldn't have, and just not following my system, I guess. My system, my rules, followed the G7 trading system, and then 1 trade per day, 1 to 2% max risk. So yeah, we're just going to be just very patient, honestly. Probably trading the XFAs. I'll probably be trading the XFAs now, one at a time, and either they're gone or they're gone, either they're gone or they're not gone. And then probably after that, I'll probably buy more combines starting, next month or something. For right now, this month, I kind of want to end this month on XFAs and then eventually start scaling again, because I feel like we're trying to scale a little bit too quickly, and I don't know why I try to bring the XFAs into the picture with the combines. It just wasn't a good combo. I think I should have just been trading the combines solely, and trying to pass them, by themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. Unable to make, decisions, being hesitant, changing it up, this and that, just it wasn't, strategic at all. Just very emotional at times too when it came to like, should I trade this, should I do this, should I do that, and just it wasn't a good idea. Just sticking to one plan and following through that plan. If I want to pass combines, I'll pass combines. If I want to trade the XFAs, I'll trade the XFAs. There's no in between trying to trade both, because again, that there's two different ways of trading an XFA versus a combine. So yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This is my first losing week of the year, first 3 losing trades in a row this year. Yeah, first 3 losing days actually, back to back this week. Yeah, I'm gonna journal, I'm gonna review, go to the gym, go for a walk right now, probably pray, meditate a little bit, go to the gym, go to work later, and then tomorrow I'll show up, trade the XFA, try to get it at a drawdown. If not, then just blow it, and then trade the other ones with 1% risk only. So I'm only gonna be trading 1% risk, 1 trade a day for the rest of the month. So yeah, peace.